you want a raise. You deserve a raise. But how do you ask for a raise? We're going to talk to the CEO of Hemlane and ask, how should somebody ask for a raise? And we're going to talk about the individual contributors here. We're going to focus on them. So, Dana, how should somebody ask for a raise, and maybe how they shouldn't ask for a raise? What do you think?
Yeah. I'll start with the shouldn't because it's the easiest one to do. You should not go into an annual review or a meeting with your manager and say, I don't think that I'm making enough money right now, and I think you should pay me more. Or I think, can I have another $4,000 or whatever it is? That is not how you ask for a raise. It's very easy to ask for a raise. It's actually one of those things that everyone should do, but there's a certain way to do it. First, it starts with data. So go out there and figure out what your position is, what the comp range is at other companies. Okay. And from that perspective, when you look at that comp range, you'll be able to see where you fit in there. And hopefully you do a very good job with your annual and semi-annual reviews or quarterly, however often you're doing those with your manager, to say, how am I doing compared to others? Because if they say you're at the top bracket, you're a 5 out of 5, then you should be at a higher part of that comp band range. So look at what those comp band ranges are. And there's a lot of tools out there that do it, like Glassdoor and stuff like that. I would get multiple different sources and then also account for where you live, and all sorts of other different factors go into it. But start with the data and understand that. Then the next thing is plan for it. So you should ask your manager, Michael, how am I doing? Great. Yeah. What could I be doing better? In a year's time or in 6 months, I would love to be an X title or have X salary. How do I get there? What KPIs do I need to hit? What metrics are you looking for? What are you looking for outside of the metrics? And then if Michael says, these are the 10 things I'm looking for, I would say, okay, Michael, if I get those 10 things, do you think that's a reasonable salary increase for me? Or do you think it's totally out of line? That makes it so much easier because you go into the meeting never asking for a raise at this moment. It takes the stress off the manager of, oh, shoot, I have to ask my manager for a raise for you and more budget. It allows you to plan ahead. And then you can say in 6 months, a year, remember that conversation we had? I've been able to hit all the metrics. And you come in with that data, and then it's a much easier conversation because they're not having to commit to it right now. And you're not putting your manager in an uncomfortable situation to say, no, I don't want to give you a raise, or I don't think you deserve one. So that's the first. The other one, which, oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, one of the things that I would tell someone is, I would almost don't talk about a raise during the annual review, because as somebody who's had budgets and had all those things, I'm given a lump of money, a lump of shares, and my job is to peanut butter or allocate that across. That's not where you want to be, at least for me, having that discussion, because everybody is having that discussion. I'm already on guard. I'm probably already frustrated because I didn't get mine, right? It's just, in my opinion, that is the wrong time to come in and have this discussion. I almost want to have the discussion when I'm the only one talking about it. So I would do it 6 months after or before, right? It's the same math.
Yeah.
Annual review. I want to be the only one talking so that I plant the seed. I get the 3 or 4 items and I go forward. And the other thing that I would make very clear, at least as an individual contributor, I would like to make it a no-brainer. Whether that's first one in, last one out, the one that's always asking for more work, the one that clearly over delivers. I want you to be the shining star on the hill or over the hill or whatever the analogy is, that my fear is losing you.
Yeah.
Because the other thing that's really important is during the annual review process, again, we get a lump of stuff. But if I have a rock star that I am afraid of losing and it's off cycle, there is a process to make that happen, and it's only one person. So you could ask for outsize, widgets. And sometimes it's actually easier off cycle. So that's something I would recommend. That'd be my first.
Yeah, most definitely. And even if they can't do it off cycle, it's such a good point. They'll make sure that when they have a budget, as much as
Exactly.
possible goes to you because you've already set that expectation from before the annual review. So yes.
Exactly. All right, bring us home. We got time for one more.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to say, the easiest way to get a huge comp increase is to have another offer on the table. And
Yeah.
and so, I think, Michael, to your point, do the work. You have to do the work. It's like anyone, if I am so worried about losing you, I will do anything because it's going to make my life more difficult to recruit from someone and find talent as good as you. If you're the first in, the last out, always asking to do more, doing work very well, over communicating on it, helping others, working cross collaboratively, I'm going to want to keep you. And that's my biggest concern is you leaving. Now, if you want a much larger raise or a huge promotion or something like that, then it's getting another job on offer. And so if you go out there, and it might even start with just telling your manager, like, I like people who are transparent. Hey, just as a heads up, I had a recruiter reach out to me. I've had a couple reach out to me. I love it here, but I took the call because I was encouraged to do so, whatever it may be. I don't like to be sort of blindsided by someone. Trust is really important, and the world is very small. But with that, if you get another job offer and it's a 20% increase or a 30% increase, that is where you say, okay, this is my value. It's not something that I looked up online. It's not something arbitrary that I came up with, like a $4,000 range. Physically, here is a paper or a contract where someone has given me another offer that is much higher than yours. That is the best way to do it, with one caveat. If you're doing that every year, it's really going to hurt you to get a job at a really, really top talent company, because top companies will not take someone who's jumping jobs every year.
Yeah, what I would tell someone again is two things. So that was actually where I was going to next as well. One, if you're going to put the hand grenade on the table without the pen, be warned that I may say bye, because you might be not who you think you are. So again, if you're going to bring me a competitor who I know that competitor is not going to treat you well, and I don't particularly think you're worth it, I can let you go. I've let salespeople go good, go blow up their pipeline instead of mine. So again, if you're going to pull the pin, make sure I want to put the pin back in. And then second, what I've told sales guys who have done this to me in the past, and it's worked, you only get to do this once. Don't do this again. I don't have hostages twice. So again, if you've ever tried it with me twice, it's never happened a second time. I say bye. So again, that's some wise advice. Dana, we got to go. How can people find Hemlane, and they should be taking the trial?
Yeah, go to www.hemlane.com and then mention one rental at a time for 20% off your first year.
Thank you so much. Bye.